it.
Can I jump in real quick?
Of course, Derick.
And just go back to the question I wish I had, but I missed the call. Learning about your underwriting process.
You should have been on the planning call, and you would have been
Yeah,
able
that's
to
the
pick
one I
your
missed.
question.
Yeah, that one. That's that one.
I told you.
I know.
Wes gave me the wrong time. But going back to the education process of what you guys do, like the peek behind the curtain, I was very blessed to have a mentor when I started at Sweat 15 years ago that got me in touch with the right folks in your organization. And I didn't understand it. I was coming out of the captive world and doing work comp and doing certain other programs, and I'm thrown into a property position. And I get it. I mean, I understand it, but I didn't understand the way that your tower worked and the underwriting process behind the scenes. And I went to Houston. And I sat down, and I was having a hard time with the SOV. I still do. I mean, let me tell you what, I still do. But I was having a real hard time with the SOV. And it was hard for me to explain to the retailer who didn't want to necessarily get all that information. They just want to quote, 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 how important certain items are in the SOV. So I went to Houston, and I sat around for a day, and I went from office to office with some of the underwriters, and I worked on my specific accounts. And they walked me through the SOV and said, here's what you filled out, or your retailer filled out. Now let's take this sellout and see what the model does. And the price would change. And I said, okay, so this is why it's important. Okay, this is our storm surge, our flush surge, what do you call it, a flood slush. He was like, but it's really important to our model. And I would see the number go in and out and the price change, and I was like, okay, I've got to get that price, which means I have to go back to my retailer and make sure that I get that information completed. So the old, saying knowledge is power, it is. And I think our organizations, would really benefit from an AmRisc University type program, and knowing the way that you guys value your hit ratio and the point system and time well spent. We want to bring you opportunities, not submissions at midnight. Let's bring you opportunities where time is well spent on Socius business. So, an educational process, I think, will go a long way for all of our organizations up here.
Did he just answer my question again?
Yes. Yes.
Back to the point, though. You brought up the point system. I was going to comment on that. You guys went away from it, and I thought that was a very good thing early on when you guys used to do the tier points, that it considered the quote to bind ratio. And I used to often talk to the other markets that were dealing with these major or massive submission flows of incent the behavior that you want to see. And I thought AmRisc was genius at that early on, because you had a bunch of policemen throughout the systems going, this is not going to go to AmRisc. Don't send it. We don't want to blow our quote ratio. You kind of took it out, so now I'm sure your flow is a lot higher, and you're getting kind of blocked probably a little bit more, but a lot of carriers battle with that. And I've said, if you kind of institute some of that, you won't get as many of these shotgun block the market type processes. But again, it's understanding it